March is a time to buckle up. And I remember when I first looked at the astrology of the year, I thought March seems like a really great month to take a month-long sabbatical or vacation. If you're new here, my name is Misty and I'm an energy and alignment coach. I've been working with women since 2015 on weight loss, prioritizing themselves, and helping them create their own dream reality. So in the month of March, you may experience sudden shifts. There's a lot of energy shifts going on right now in the collective. And today we're going to talk about some of these things that you may be experiencing. So we are currently in Pisces season. So we recently had a new moon in Pisces just a couple days ago from when I am filming this. I'm filming this on March 1st. However, we had a new moon on February 27th. So a new moon is when the sun and moon they come together in the same sign and they're almost like on top of each other. So this is a dark moon phase, which means you can't really see the moon because the sun is so big and so bright. The moon is sort of hidden. So it is a great time to tap into your intuition. Pisces is the very last sign of the zodiac. So out of all 12 signs, it's very last. Pisces tends to be a sign of like out of this world. They are a water sign, so they're very intuitive, psychic, they are very creative, they're very emotional, they're very in tune with their emotions. And this is very true of all the water signs. However, Pisces, because they're the very last sign, they tend to be more mature. We start with Aries and we go all the way around the zodiac. So Pisces has a little bit of every single sign in them. So they're able to see things from a different perspective than most of the other signs. They are very mystical. They're very intuitive, like we talked about. They're very much all about the imagination. If you know any Pisces, you probably know they tend to get a little lost in their own world. Pisces struggles with boundaries. They're represented by the fish, and the fish lives in the ocean, and there's no boundaries in the ocean. There's no walls, so they can go wherever they want to go. And this is how Pisces prefers to go through life, is they just want to float through life without any boundaries, without any discipline, without any hard consequences. They are a very, very spiritual sign, so they tend to have a very different perspective, and they really have a hard time with reality, with the physical. So with a new moon and also the sun here in Pisces, this is a really great time for you to tap into your imagination, tap into your spiritual side. And we actually have a lot of Pisces energy right now. This is such a rare event. We not only have the sun and moon in Pisces, we also have Mercury in Pisces. We have the North Node recently moved into Pisces. We also have Saturn in Pisces, and Neptune is at the very last degree of Pisces. So Neptune's been here since 2012. But it is getting ready to move. So we're going to talk about that later. But with all of these planets in Pisces, and Venus is currently in Aries, but it will retrograde back into Pisces. So this is a lot of Pisces energy. We probably are not used to all of this Pisces energy. So this is a really great time to really start to tap into your imaginary side, pay attention to your dreams. A really great time to get into meditation. With Saturn here, also, it is almost an energy of helping your dreams become reality, because Saturn is a sign that is unlike Pisces at all. It's very material. It's very much about hard consequences, discipline, taking responsibility. So it is a very practical sign. So with the new moon in Pisces, it's allowing us to dream a little bit bigger and really imagine your ideal life or your ideal scenario. And Saturn is here to help bring that into your reality. So we also recently had Mars go direct. So Mars is the planet of action. It is a planet of motivation. It is a planet of ambition. And Mars only goes retrograde every 2 years. And if you are a Scorpio rising or an Aries rising, you may feel this a little more intensely. Whenever Mars goes retrograde, any planet that goes retrograde, it's an opportunity to review. And with Mars being all about action and going forward and forward motion, and when it goes retrograde, we may feel a little sluggish. We may feel like we're not making progress. We're not moving forward. We have no motivation. We may lose that ambition. We may lose that drive that you may normally have. But it is because it started in Leo and then it retrograded back to Cancer. This is an opportunity to review, like, what gives you energy. Leo is all about your creative expression. It's also about joy, and Leo rules the heart. So it's about reviewing, like, are you living a life in joy? Like, do you enjoy your life? Do you enjoy the things that you're giving your energy to every day? And with it going back into Cancer, Cancer is a sign about nurturing. So it is also a point of reviewing, like, how am I nurturing myself? And am I feeling nurtured by the things I'm giving my energy to? So Mars went retrograde on December 6th, and then it moved into Cancer in January. And so if you're feeling sluggish, lack of motivation, lack of ambition, no drive, this is not entirely your fault. We're all feeling this. And it's felt a little bit slow to the new year, right? Mars recently went direct. It's still in Cancer, and it takes a little while to start its engine a little bit more. So you may still feel this over the next coming weeks, but you should start to get more of your energy back, more of your motivation back, more of your drive back. And it will be in Cancer until April. So we are currently, this is March 1st when I'm recording this. So March may feel a little sluggish, but I think by April, you'll start to kind of get your mojo back. As of today, Venus goes retrograde in the sign of Aries. And so Venus is a planet of love and relationships, beauty. It represents our values, what we value in life. When Venus goes retrograde, it is a time to review, like, what do I value? Am I living my life in tune with my own values? The last time Venus went retrograde in the sign of Leo back in the summer of 2023. So you can, think about some of the things that you were navigating at that time. And this is going to be a little bit different because it's in a different sign. It's in a different part of your chart. But the thing about Venus retrogrades the same spot every 8 years. So you can go back to 8 years ago, back in March of 2017, and you can think about, what were you navigating at that point? What were you reviewing when it comes to your values, your relationship? Could be your aesthetic, because Venus has to do with style and beauty. So it is Highly advised against getting like a haircut around this time, a new cut, like a style that you've never had before, or changing up your look in a way you've never done before, because we're in review process and you may have to get it redone. Venus in Aries is a little bit of a badass. She's a little bit a warrior. Venus rules signs of Taurus and Libra, and she's all about like collaboration, connection, working things out. But in Aries is the opposite of that. Aries is like, I'm going to go for what I want. I need to focus on me. And so during this Venus retrograde, you may be just like, really thinking about what is it that I want? What is it that I need? If you've been too focused on what everyone else is needing from you, you may be needing to really look within. So this is going to depend on where you have it in your chart, but Venus in Aries is a little bit of a warrior. She will be retrograding back into Pisces. Pisces is, again, we talked about Pisces is the opposite of Aries. It's dreamy. It's all about imagination and being in tune with your intuition. It's very imaginative. So when Venus moves back into Pisces, we may get a little bit of a relief. It may not feel so brutal as Venus in Aries. And Venus will be retrograde and going through this part of your chart until April. So after April 12th, if you want to change up your aesthetic, if you want to change up, your home decor, or get a new tattoo, or anything money related, you go for it. It's like green lights ahead after April 12th. But before that, because Venus also rules money, you just want to really reflect on where you're spending your money. Also, don't make any major purchase decisions at this time. Maybe if you can wait until April, then that would be more beneficial. We are also upon eclipse season. So we have a lunar eclipse in the sign of Virgo on March 14th. So this is a full moon eclipse. It is going to be opposite Saturn. So there may be some hard lessons because the South Node just moved into the sign of Virgo. This is a point of release, and I did a whole video about the South Node in Virgo and the North Node in Pisces based on your sign, so you can go check that out. And I do have an upcoming membership where we are going to be diving even deeper with the new moons and the full moons. So if you want specific guidance around that, I highly recommend you join the waitlist. But this lunar eclipse in Virgo, sitting opposite of Saturn, it very much looks like we are letting go of something, and it may not be easy. It may be really hard because Saturn brings hard lessons, but it is material. And with this South Node in Virgo, it has to do with letting go of something, maybe letting go of control, letting go of a specific plan that you have. But I always say, whatever leaves you in eclipse season, allow it to leave you. Whatever comes into your life during eclipse season, allow it. Don't force anything, because this is a fated time. So pay attention to the events that happen around the eclipses. Pay attention to who's coming in your life, who's leaving your life. If you have a sudden explosive fight with a family member or a friend, this could just be a point of ending, or maybe things just need to cool off. Just like let things happen. We also have an Aries solar eclipse on March 29th. So this is the last one of this type. We have had multiple eclipses in the sign of Aries for about the past year and a half to 2 years. So this is a final push in wherever you have Aries in your chart, whatever area that happens to fall. Now, a lunar eclipse tends to have effects for the next 6 to 12 months, while a solar eclipse effects tend to last 1 to 2 years. So this is a final push. Wherever you have Aries, pay attention to that. Let me know in the comments. Do you know what house this Aries solar eclipse is happening in? And finally, we have Neptune moving out of Pisces and into Aries on March 30th. So this is a big deal because Neptune stays in one sign for 14 years. Neptune has been in Pisces since 2012. So you can look back on your life and think about what have you been navigating since 2012? Neptune, in modern astrology, it rules Pisces. So it very much has to do with illusions, very much has to do with imagination, spirituality. Neptune tends to rule pop culture. So the music industry, movies. So we may see a shift in the kinds of music that comes out when Neptune moves into Aries. And it's only in Aries for a few months, and then it will retrograde back into Pisces. So we're not fully ending this story with Neptune and Pisces, but eventually come 2026, it will move into Aries for the next 14 years. So we will not see Neptune and Pisces for the rest of our lifetimes because it takes so long to move through the zodiac. So this is March for you. If you want to learn deeper on how you can navigate the new moons and full moons, you want to learn how to create a life you don't need a vacation from, you want to get more into alignment and manifest with the moon, then I highly suggest you get on the wait list for my new membership, the Sacred Alignment Society.